Separated families from South and North Korea look forward to the upcoming reunion starting Tuesday. We bring you stories from their last-minute preparations. A 5-day International Science and Technology Forum opens in Daejeon, bringing together scientists and academics from around the world. And the government has announced measures to encourage marriage through increased housing and financial support to alleviate the critically low birth rate. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, October 19th. I'm Luke Clary. Separated families from South and North Korea are looking forward to the upcoming reunions to be held at the North Korean resort at Mount Geumgang starting on Tuesday. Over the weekend, many had their hands full preparing gifts for their long-lost kin.
A formal suit donned for the first time since retirement. A necktie chosen with extra care. Even packing bags is fun for this man who is going to reunite with his older sister in the north for the first time since their separation during the Korean War.
헐 얘기하면 살았네? 살았어! 누나 맞아? 누나야? 살았어? 그 외에는 없어. 이게 애기 거예요?
이건 애기 거예요.
This elderly man, Kim Geumgang, has prepared bundles of gifts for his younger brother in the north, from socks and jackets to gloves. He's going to reunite with him for the first time in 65 years. 3 generations of Kim's family have prepared gifts together for their relative. Kim remembers his brother as a 1-year-old baby carried on his mother's back. But now he's over 60. Kim wants to do his best for his long-lost brother to make up for all those years that they could have spent together.
65년 만에 만나니까 이것저것 다 해주고 싶은데 그냥 한이 없어요, 사실.
Piles of family pictures and gifts are just a few indicators of how much separated families have missed their long-lost kin for over 6 decades.
A 5-day International Science and Technology Forum has opened in Daejeon, bringing together renowned science figures and academics from around the world. Let's take a look at this event and what it means.
The OECD Ministerial Meeting Daejeon 2015 World Science and Technology Forum begins Monday. The event will be attended by science and technology ministers and vice ministers from some 50 countries, including OECD member nations, and the heads of 12 international organizations. Renowned foreign academics, including Nobel laureates and futurologists, will participate in discussions on the future of science and technology. The forum will focus on 3 major issues: overcoming the global economic crisis, addressing global warming, and how to narrow the economic gaps between countries. Representatives of participating nations will discuss ways to address the low-growth economy through international cooperation in the science and technology sector. They will also coordinate measures to deal with global warming. Furthermore, possible solutions will be discussed to narrow economic and social gaps between developed and developing countries. The discussion results will be embodied in the Daejeon Declaration, which will be announced on October 21st.
At the recent South Korea-United States summit meetings, the 2 nations' leaders adopted a joint statement on the North Korean nuclear issue. Seoul says the 2 heads of state also agreed that South Korea has what it takes to join the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
The joint statement on North Korea's nuclear issue has been lauded as the greatest achievement of the South Korea-United States summit meeting.
북한 문제에 대한 실질적 진전을 어떻게 이루어 나갈 것인가에 대해서 한미 양국을 중심으로 구체적 협의를 계속 진행하게 될 것으로 봅니다.
The summit also served as an opportunity to dispel concerns in the U.S. that Seoul was increasingly clinging to Beijing.
We want South Korea to have a strong relationship with China, just as we want to have a strong relationship with China.
Observers say the summit has paved the way for the resumption of 6-way nuclear talks with China acting as a go-between. North Korea's nuclear issue and cooperation among Northeast Asian nations will likely top the agenda of the trilateral South Korea-China-Japan summit slated for early next month. The presidential office added that the latest summit has opened new economic horizons in the South Korea-U.S. alliance by reaching a consensus on South Korea's entry into the Trans-Pacific Partnership and agreeing to sign a space development cooperation deal as soon as possible.
South Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. If the situation goes unchecked, the population could drop to half the current level by 2090. In response, the government has announced measures to encourage marriage through increased housing and financial support.
Yong-deuk, an office worker in his early 30s, has decided to postpone marriage for the time being. The decision is his response to the soaring expenses of lump sum-based housing leases.
결혼 당장이라도 하고 싶은 마음은 굴뚝 같지만 지금 모아놓은 돈도 없고 요즘 전셋값도 올라가지고.
Korean men spend an average of approximately $66,300 in marriage expenses. Most of the expenses go to housing, which is why 8 out of 10 Korean men consider this to be the heaviest burden. That's why the government has promised more active housing support. The government will encourage people to get married at a younger age by expanding assigned priority for rental homes from newlyweds to soon-to-be married couples and offering bonus points for younger applicants. Imposed medical expenses for pregnancy and childbirth costs, such as ultrasound checkups, will gradually be phased out. Regarding the most fundamental issue of job creation, the government will create 40,000 new jobs in the public sector and offer tax benefits of as much as $4,400 per head to companies that hire more permanent employees. However, some are voicing concerns over the effectiveness of the latest measures, as the government has presented no plans for the procurement of financial resources and has recycled many of its previous policies.
Smartphone addiction among teenagers is a serious issue. That's why many parents are showing increased interest in camps for youth that offer hands-on experience programs to steer their kids away from addictive devices.
레크레이션을 시작하겠습니다.
싫어, 안 해. 재미가 없을 것 같아. 나 스마트폰이나 할 거야.
This role-playing exercise is about the excessive use of smartphones by teens. It's being performed by junior high and high school students, many of whom spend hours using the internet and smartphones on a daily basis.
스마트폰만 너무 오래 한 청소는 몸이 그대로 굳어서 결국 죽어버리고 말았습니다.
The teenagers learn how to play the guitar and draw pictures with brushes and pens for the first time in a while.
청소년들의 마음을 표현했습니다.
사인펜으로 그림 그려본 게 언제예요, 마지막으로?
유치원 때도 안 한 것 같아요.
At first, staying at this camp, where mobile phones are not allowed, was a challenge to many.
원래 자기 전에 핸드폰을 만지면서 자면은 잠이 잘 오거든요. 근데 잘 때 그냥 아무것도 없이 천장만 보다가 자니까 적응되는 것 같아요, 핸드폰 없이도.
Nearly 30% of teens in Korea are addicted to smartphones. Steering them away from addictive devices and showing them the real world beyond the cyberspace at their fingertips may be the answer to what has become a serious social problem.
Autumn is the season of harvest, and this is also true underwater. A wide variety of fish and other maritime creatures can be seen preparing for the cold to come under the sea off the coast of Jeju Island. Here are some underwater scenes from the southern island.
The water is filled with schools of young anchovies glittering like flakes of snow. Hatched only last summer, they swim in groups to avoid bigger fish. Young damselfish indigenous to Jeju also show off their group dance. Schools of blackfin sweepers hide between corals and rocks. Originating from the tropics, blue damselfish have settled in the waters near Jeju. Five-banded damselfish, which are popular as aquarium specimens because of their beautiful stripes, hunt in groups for prey.
가을철이면 청고마비 계절입니다. 제주 바다인 경우에 플랑크톤이 풍부해가지고 제주 바다에 서식하는 물고기들이 겨울을 나기 위해서 먹이를 많이 섭취하는 그런 시기입니다.
Coral in various colors forms a palace of flowers under the sea. Coral also takes in nutrients as plankton reproduces in great amounts during the autumn season. The ocean waters off the coast of Jeju are teeming with maritime life as its inhabitants busily prepare to pass the winter.
Itaewon in Seoul is known as an international neighborhood frequented by foreigners. Now the area has become a multicultural hotspot where both Koreans and foreigners can experience many different cultures from around the world.
People are milling along the middle of the main street in Itaewon, which would have been filled with cars on any other day. A traditional Korean music performance is taking place on the street, followed by a U.S. military band parade. Roughly 1,000 Koreans and foreigners took part in the Itaewon Global Village Festival to show off the heritage of their respective countries.
Oh yeah, we've had a great time. We're trying all kinds of different things, enjoying all the different cultures from around the world.
Children are drawn to the booths where they can experience cultures from 25 different countries.
외국 사람들도 보고 외국 음식도 먹으니까 기분이 좋았어요.
The hottest attraction is, of course, street foods from around the globe. Festival visitors are busy trying out exotic culinary fares from different parts of the globe, from Africa to Asia to South America.
많은 관광객들이 한국을 찾아와서 즐길 수 있도록 그렇게 하기 위해서 이 행사를 진행을 하고 있습니다.
This year's festival has grown substantially thanks to a large number of merchants in Itaewon participating in the event. Roughly 800,000 visitors, 70,000 more than last year, came to enjoy the celebration, making the Itaewon Global Village Festival one of Seoul's signature attractions.
A musical production about the tragic separations of family members during the Korean War and other painful events from modern Korean history has been put on stage ahead of the latest real family reunion between South and North Korea. This and more news coming up on today's Showbiz segment.
The nationwide live telecast on KBS of searches for families separated by the Korean War broke the hearts of viewers everywhere. This historic broadcast inspired the musical production Seoul 1983, presented by the Seoul Metropolitan Musical Theater in marking the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence. It is a story of a woman who lived through the tragedy of the Korean War and the pain of being separated from her loved ones. The production features Does Somebody Know This Person, the iconic theme song from the Family Search program, as well as hits from the 80s and 90s like Evergreen and Ulungdo Twist to play up the mood of that particular time. Actor Lee Jung-gi makes his Hollywood debut with an appearance in the latest installment of the Resident Evil franchise. Lee's management agency said he is currently in South Africa filming Resident Evil 6, the final chapter, which is slated for release in 2017.
Bowed legs are often the result of bad posture and habits in daily life. The condition can even affect your health. There's an association with arthritis. Today, we have details on the bad habits that can cause bowed legs and ways to prevent it. Especially in the summer, some people avoid wearing a skirt or short pants because of their less than shapely legs.
핀다리 때문에 너무 신경이 많이 쓰여가지고 많이 불편하고 자신감도 많이 떨어집니다.
This person has the typical letter O-shaped bow legs. There's a hollow spot between the legs. The legs are a wide 5 centimeters apart. There's also the opposite case of legs bowed toward the outside in an X shape, in which case the heels and calves come apart. In many cases, daily habits are to blame for less than shapely legs. Kneeling while cleaning or sitting cross-legged can cause bowed legs. Crossing your legs also doesn't help. High heels, an out-toed gait, and leaning on one foot when standing all put pressure on the pelvis. If these habits are left unchecked, your health can be put at risk.
골반 자체가 틀어져 있기 때문에 무릎 관절염, 요통질환이 생기고 더 심한 경우는 허리 디스크까지 올 수 있는 원인이 될 수 있습니다.
There are some easy exercise movements anyone can try. For O-shaped legs, place a plastic bottle between the legs and repeat raising and lowering your heels while slightly bending at the knees.
총 20번씩 3세트 실시하시면 되겠습니다.
For X-shaped bent legs, put the plastic bottle between the heels for the same exercise. This time, get a towel and spread it below your pelvis and head as you lie face down. Take turns folding each leg up and lift the knee while the pelvis remains steady. Try 3 sets of 30 repetitions each and the effects will soon show.
엉덩이 쪽에 있는 둥근과 회전을 강화시켜주는 근육들을 강화시켜줌으로써 휜다리 원인이 되고 있는 부분을 많이 치료할 수 있습니다.
Moderate exercise and good daily habits can help straighten the legs and make your body feel more balanced. And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.